The Snow Woman, a tribute to the migrants of the world, based on a true story that occurred on the Cotopaxi volcano, Cotopaxi Province, Ecuador. Author Fausto Ramos.
Cotopaxi, the highest and most active snow-capped volcano in the world, rises before us. An immense crater, covered in a blanket of snow, awaits us at the top. And something else, memories and feelings that only eternal snow can keep. Juan, my best friend, the person who taught me how to climb, helps my mother climb close to the crater. I wonder if memories can be imprinted in this snow, if my love for my loved ones will be etched in this place, like feelings of those who walked here before me. To Martha. From Christian. Subject, greetings from the middle of the world. Date, June 2003. Dear Mother, I hope you have arrived safely in Spain and that you will soon be working in the job that your cousin had offered you. You know that when your plane was flying I went to the south side of the airport and from there I watched your departure, next to the brass work that. It represents the goodbye that many Ecuadorians like me say when seeing a piece of our lives leave for the other side of the ocean. I found out that the work is titled El Adios and was made by someone named Fernando Rivera. Next to me, several people from the wire fence watched with tears in their eyes as the plane took off. At the bottom of the work there is a text that says, "Far from you it seems that my eyes lack light and my body lacks life." And before being infected by the tears of that wake in absent bodies, I walked away imagining that 1 in 10 Ecuadorians had a migrant relative and that we were all part of that mural, with our hands raised and anguish drowning in our chests. Here I continue in my tourism career and I hope to soon get a job to cover my expenses. You already know that Dona Zoilita has been like a second mother and always understands me when I am short of money. I ask God for strength to complete my studies and to be able to reward your efforts and that of Dona Zoilita, my foster mother. Ajuk from Quito, La Carita de Dios. The studies continued and the first research trips to the field began. I so loved getting to know new places and customs of our beautiful Ecuador. You continued sending money, the fruit of your efforts in the Madre Patria. I was eagerly waiting to get my first job in a tourism agency.
For Christian, from Martha. Subject, Merry Christmas. Date, December 2003. My son, here the snow surrounds everything with a Christmas atmosphere. It's as if you lived inside one of those glass spheres with little white papers inside. There is so much snow here and it is not as romantic as when you see it on postcards or those decorations. I really miss the climate of my beloved Ecuador, but above all I miss your warmth, my dear, with your witticisms and your sense of humor. Dona Zoilita told me that you had complained that your migraines are overwhelming you, so I'm sending you extra money so that you can go to the doctor to get checked out. They say that Christmas trees symbolize peace and serenity. I light a Christmas tree inside me and I hope that all the love I feel for you will accompany you on this Christmas night. Your mother who loves you.
Life was smiling on me because they accepted me as an intern in a tourism company that carried out tours, excursions and mountaineering in Ecuador. We ascended Cotopaxi on a 6-hour walk, which left me exhausted and lagging behind the group. Lost and while I was chewing a chocolate bar to raise my temperature, I looked at her for the first time. She was beautiful, pale skin, white hair loose in mischievous waves and jade eyes. He wore comfortable snow-colored clothes and covered everything with a huge white fur coat. Who are you? My name is Rithi and I am part of this place. His breath formed capricious wisps in the cold air. But we are about 5,000 meters high, it is not possible for a human being to live in this climate. I am a snow woman, I can live forever. For me, snow is like enjoying a lemon slush. I admired that beautiful vision, I couldn't call it anything else, and I tried to look for topics related to my strange hostess. What would happen if the snow ends and the dormant volcano reactivates? I am snow, he said, and with a sleight of hand he made the figurine of an ice bird appear out of nowhere, cut like a diamond, flashing thousands of colors in the sunlight. If the snow disappears, I will too. Suddenly, voices of other hikers burst in calling my name. I look around but Rithi has disappeared. My friends find me and help me up. Where have you been, Christian? We've been looking for you for hours. It had only been 15 minutes for me, but according to them, it was 3 hours. I returned to Cotopaxi every time I could. I looked for Rithi, my snow woman. She taught me the secrets of the snow, but it always disappeared without me being able to notice. Why can't anyone else see you? Only people with a special sensitivity can see me. You are one of those few, he said, piercing me with that enigmatic look of cut glass. The few I've told about you think I'm losing my mind at 26 years old. By the way, how old are you? Here nothing has an age, everything is eternal, everything becomes the past, even the future. The days are always present. For Martha, from Christian. Subject, a hug from your son. Date, March 2006. Dear Mother, I send you a New Year's greeting. Did you know that the start of the new year is actually March 21st? In the Andean worldview they call that festival Mashakmina. I have seen beautiful places in our country. I am convinced that Ecuador is paradise on earth, but what I love most is visiting Cotopaxi. There I feel relaxed and at peace with myself. The headaches also disappear there. I'm seriously thinking about moving there, to live with a beautiful snow woman. Your son who adores you and hopes to see you soon.
To Christian. From Martha. Subject, about your health. Date, November 2006. My son, I am concerned about what Mrs. Zoilita tells me about the deterioration of your health. He says you have little appetite and that you've been feeling down lately. I'm sending money to Zoilita so that she can accompany you to undergo tests and diagnose what you have. Take good care of yourself, and please, I would like you to get a woman of flesh and blood, who will cook for you and take care of you. Not a snow woman that only you see. Your mother who loves you.
They determined that I had a brain tumor and that they should operate on me immediately, before it spread. You came from the Madre Patria to see him come out of that intervention alive. When I came out of the operating room, more than being happy to be alive, I was happy to see you smile. The headaches disappeared and so did the snow woman. Sitting there at the top of Cotopaxi, I questioned whether everything was a consequence of my illness and that nymph was nothing more than a hallucination. Following your advice, Mother, and that of Dona Zoilita, I fell in love with a friend I met on an excursion to warm lands. With Maritza we talked, we sympathized, and after 6 months of dating we were already husband and wife. However, when I closed my eyes, I preferred to immerse myself in the cold and sweet memory of my snow woman. For Martha, from Christian. Subject, I'm a dad. Date, February 2009. Mommy, I confirm that yesterday, weighing 3,200 grams, Ariel Alejandro came into this world. When the doctor brought him in, he asked, "Who is the father of this Superman?" And I stepped forward proudly, and the doctor was disappointed to see that Superman's father was a bag of bones, ha ha ha. I am very happy and I feel that now I have a powerful reason to move forward. Since there are 3 of us, we have thought about moving to an apartment north of the city, a more comfortable place. I told Mrs. Zoilita, and although it was difficult for her to accept it, she ended up resigning herself. I love life. I love you, Mother. One day I decided to take Maritza and Ariel to my favorite snowy mountain. We entertained ourselves in the lagoons of Limpiopungo, watching the wild ducks splash around in the cold waters, and then I carried Ariel on my shoulders. As we walked, he repeated and pointed. With the index everything we discovered. For him everything was new and surprising. We reached the first shelter, and when everyone was sleeping it occurred to me to go out to listen to the howling of the wind, but I got lost in a storm and sought refuge under a slope. Suddenly, there was Reethi, the ethereal snow woman. Reethi, why did you disappear from one moment to the next? She, always with her beautiful calm face, sang with her windy voice. You couldn't see me anymore, I was always close to you. Today I saw you arrive and I followed your steps. I was surprised when you recognized me. When I woke up riddled with the glow of the new day, Reethi was no longer with me. I ran quickly towards the shelter and found Maritza with a look of disappointment. I think that moment was the beginning of our breakup. For Martha, from Christian. Subject, a new beginning. Date, March 2012. Beautiful Mother, things with Maritza have not gone well. As time went by, routine entered under the door, and now because of my health problems I feel like a burden, and I do not consider it fair that she and Ariel should burden me. I tell you that the last time we were together we celebrated Arielito's birthday. He is a very talkative and outgoing child. I will miss him very much. I have talked with Dona Zoilita. She came to look for me probably because you told her something, and she offered me the little room where she lived with you. She told me that it is as we left it, because she always hoped that her foster son would come back to accompany her. Your son who loves you and always carries you in his heart. My health deteriorated and the tumor was spreading throughout my brain. At the agency, several friends showed me their solidarity when they decided to take me out of the bedroom where I was bedridden and took me near the Cotopaxi crater. Many said I had gone mad when I begged to be allowed to spend the night outdoors, protected by a rustic ice cave and wrapped in a blanket. When I opened my eyes, she was there. He caressed me with his icy hands. I tried to say something to her, but she put her fingers in my mouth and whispered, "Rest, I will be with you to watch over your dream." Thinking I saw her smile, I was shipwrecked in a deep drowsiness, in which Rifi was my lighthouse and my horizon. The next day we returned to the city, although I would have preferred to end my existence in the arms of that woman, because with her silences and caresses she had brought tranquility to my life. For Martha, from Christian. Subject, my last wish. Date, December 2012. Mother, I asked Zoilita to write these words for me, because my strength has abandoned me. They say that when you look closely at the end, you regret everything you have done. The opposite happens to me, I only regret what I have not been able to do. I want to ask you 2 favors and don't be alarmed by what I'm going to say. In case I die, I wish for my ashes to be scattered on the top of Cotopaxi. The other favor is that you talk to Maritza. And tell him that you will take Ariel to Spain and that there you will give him education and affection. She is in another relationship and I don't want my son to suffer any need. I am grateful for everything that has happened to me and I do not blame the condition in which I find myself. I don't remember where I read that someday everything will make sense, but for now laugh at the problems, smile through the tears and keep remembering that everything happens for a reason. I have not one, but several reasons to be grateful for these years. Thank you and God for giving me life. Your son who loves you. Today, December 21st, 2021, while in other corners humanity awaits the end of the world. You, along with Zoilita, Ariel and my Ascension companion skirt the Cotopaxi crater. You raise the urn to the sky and let my ashes escape. And without you realizing it, Mother, by scattering my ashes over Cotopaxi you have worked the miracle of turning my memories into perpetual snow. I silently contemplate the descent of the group that accompanied you to fulfill your promise. Then, I look back and once again I am shipwrecked in those indecipherable jade eyes.
Musical background credits Collar del Lagrimas, Paulo Freire and Ismael Villasís, guitarists. If you like this story of equatorial magical realism, share it and help us spread literature. Find more magical stories and legends from Ecuador in our book, The Lord of Tales 2 Fantastic Chronicles of the Equinox, now available on Amazon. Fausto Ramos, writer.